and how we are lost in the curtains of Maya. Today I am going to tell you how we get to that spirit. There are two types of methods people employ in finding out that spirit. One is called as Anavopai, and another one is called as Shaktopai. Anu means a molecule. When we are lost in the Maya, as I told you last time, actually the spirit is eternal. It is all powerful. It never loses its power. Whether we are old, young, whatever condition we may be, the spirit has its own power all the time. But the reflection of the spirit in us, the light of the spirit in us, depends on the quality of our reflector, how we are. And because of the quality being so poor sometimes, darkness is created within us. And in that darkness, we do not know, sometimes even to that extent, that there is something beyond. So the first style of seeking is Anavopai, as you call it, or which is depending on separating molecules after molecules. Because under these circumstances, when you are surrounded by darkness, you see spirit just as a molecule, or you can say spark or a flicker. Sometimes you just get a flicker of it. As you know, the thoughts arise within us and fade away. We see the thoughts rising and fading away. And there are many thoughts all around us. Our attention is on those thoughts moving all the time. It is very hard to find that space in between two thoughts. That's why what we see is just a flicker, you can call it, or a little atom of that spirit, sometimes sparkling. And then the search starts among human beings. From that darkness, from Tamoguna, they start searching. And the Kriya starts within us. So we can see in the left hand side, as you see the Idanadi, by which we live in Tamoguna in desiring for it. And then we move to the right hand side on the Pingala Nadi, in which we act. In that action, we try to find the spirit. Of course, first we think it is in getting material advancement, that you will find that spirit, that flicker. And so we go in for material advancement. Now material advancement is very different from the spiritual advancement. Or we can say the material happening, what we see like a plane landing or a plane taking off or a collision of two trains or any such happenings are outside, and spiritual happening is within. Our attention is always attracted towards outside happenings. And it is an impossibility to take this attention inside. That is why something has to happen within us to attract that attention inside. We cannot force our attention inside. So people try normally. The anavopai is that, what you call Ashtanga yoga and other yogas, by which they try separating themselves from myth, from darkness. For which you need very astute, honest, sincere people. Very young, celibate, innocent people, those who have to live in the forest with their gurus. So they keep out their attention, which is called as nirodha. They stop their attention spreading itself. They concentrate their attention with the help of a realized soul. If you come to India, you will meet some real sages like that who live on top of hills and mountains, who are not easily available to people. They do not sell their religion or they do not sell their realization to people. Hidden away from the madding crowd, they exist there. One of them has told Samuni Sahajogis that he has practiced Anavopai for 21,000 years from when he was just a frog. It's fantastic that he carried on for 21,000 years, every year, life he was born. And still he cannot raise the kundalini of others very easily. Still he does not have the power to raise the kundalini the way you Sahajogis can raise. It's most surprising. He has given realization to only one person. Only one. In 25 years he worked on him. The same way Anavopai. These are the people who are detached, vitaragas. Not that you have to run away from anywhere, but living in the society only you can achieve it through our Sahajoga or Mahayoga. This is Shaktopai. But these people still are afraid to come in the cities because they could not make people understand. They do not trust human beings. They want to keep away from them. They are not married. They lead a celibate life. They live up to 200 years sometimes 1,000 years also. But it is a very individualistic movement. Works on one or two people. Births after births, they cleanse themselves. This is Anavopai. So the search for the divine or for the spirit has been on for ages now. It's not a new thing that we are doing here. And you also have been seeking that divine in your previous lives and many lives before. But you must know that for seeking, you have to go inside. It's not outside. And how do you go inside is the problem. Some people say that if you go on suggesting I'm going inside, you go inside. It's all imagination. Because when the attention is out, the knower and the knowledge, both are different. Like if I see this thing now, for example, if I'm not a realized soul, I'll see this one and I will just think how much they must have paid for it, what is it made of, from where did they get it, all sorts of these superficial things as you can call it. At the most, somebody might say it's very aesthetically placed and it has very great balance and all that. At the most. But it is all outside. Because the knower who knows about it is outside the knowledge. So there's a tremendous difference between the happening outside and happening inside. When you see a train colliding, you'll say, oh, look at this, what is this they have done, this driver is wrong, and that these people have suffered so much and all sorts of things. They'll start collecting money, whatever we do normally, you see. But the knowledge about it is outside the knower, that is yourself. But when the spiritual happening takes place, the knowledge and the knower become one. For example, now this machine that is here, to a normal person, as I told you, will be, it is so much, it costs so much, or whatever it is. But to a realized soul, it would be, is it vibrating? Is it emitting vibrations? What sort of vibration it is emitting? It is good or bad? Because then you start understanding it according to spiritual value and not according to material value. I hope you understand this point. Spiritual value is an absolute value. And what is the measure of that is the spiritual joy.